Well, you see it everywhere. It's just not being grasped. You know what in the big scale, it's not being understood of what a dramatic event you are living in with COVID-19. It's permeated everything, not just in your city, your state, but the whole world of human life. Every country is dealing with it. And what you're seeing is how COVID is exposing and showing you what every situation of your culture and society is. And in particular, the big one, the really big one that no one's getting and trying to just fumble along as if it's just an inconvenience. The big one, the one that's got to change anyway, is economics. The whole economic structure is showing you how fraudulent and wrong it is. It has no flexibility. It has no ability to adapt. It has also a very fraudulent approach to what it is. In the very first place, it's built on myth. A myth of profit, activity. And that is built on an activity that you are subservient to. You work. You work to do this, so you get that type of thing, right? And it makes you secondary. And this other mythic thing of business, corporation in particular now, and a fabricated entry. It's just a business enterprise. Corporation is just a business enterprise. But it's taken on the persona, the attitude, as if it is a thing that has to be obeyed. And that corporation, dictates your life. You are subservient to it. When actually, it was true before COVID. It's sure showing you now with COVID. Actually, you are first, and you have always been first. It's your air and water first. Not business, not corporation. They don't get a hand on your air or your water at all. If they poison or pollute your air, your water, they're out of business. Because you're first. For you and your kids. But this economic system is built on toxic foundation of profit, which meant that anything goes as long as you made a profit, which meant you poisoned and polluted the whole planet. You dumped plastic in your oceans. You allowed the air you breathe to be saturated with toxins because you were subservient to the economic structure. And actually, reality, benefit to you is that this economics is built on you. You're first. You're first. It's your air and water. It's your food. Regardless, who it's made by a corporation, a business, a local farmer, or whatever. They're making it for you. So it's got to be good. It's got to be free of pesticides and poisons and synthetic fertilizer residue. It's food. It's your food, and you're setting the standard. That's for you and your kids, and for their kids, and for their kids down the line. And of course, in there, as you're seeing with COVID, is healthcare. Even before COVID, you all need healthcare. You all need access to, you're going to need healthcare throughout your life. In a whole variety of ways. Well, it's about you first, so you get healthcare. it becomes, national health care, of course, because you're first. So the budget, what is a budget? What is government? Is all built on you. But wait a minute, it somewhat already is, at least in what the documents say that base it on America. It says we the people. It doesn't say we the corporation. And it doesn't say we the white people. No, and it doesn't say we the Christian. It says we the people, correctly. All of us. Equal rights. It's all about you, all of you. It's all about you, all of you, equal rights. And in there, of course, then, all that crap of Republican gets thrown out. Racism, that's all in the Republican Party. Christian fascism, that's all in the Republican Party. And corporate poisoning and polluting of you gets thrown out. So here in the aftermath of the 2020 election, this is why Republicans are so desperate. You're seeing them so desperate. Because this bubble of fraud and lies and just immense criminality is about to burst. That was Republican. Because Republican was built on the economics, grasping to the money of the economic structure of dominating over you. Republican is built on all this lies and racism, virulent hate and violence of racism. They're also in the Republican Party. And is also built on all these Christian fascists who want to continue repressing gays and denying women equal rights. That's all in the Republican Party. And when you wake up to the reality of COVID, that's showing you how things are, what the system really is, then you throw everything Republican out. And you get back to you. You're first. As you always have been. Down through history. It hasn't been a king, and then you do whatever the king says. It hasn't been an aristocracy, and you do whatever the prince and duke and earls and all that bullshit does. It isn't about a premier, a dictator, a president, all the other little CEOs and CFOs, what they say. Fuck them. Forget them. Throw them out. They've been against you. You are first. It's you are first. And that is, because you needed the waking up, what COVID-19 is bringing in and exposing. The vast fraud of the economics, the vast fraud of the trying to hold on these delusions of QAnon hysteria and Fox News lies and fraudulence, the vast hysteria of Christian fascism trying to justify repression of women and gays based on their myths made up by ignorant people from 2,000 years ago. They're desperate. They're violent. They're ugly. They're built on bitterness and abuse. And all that is being rolled over by COVID-19, showing you what's really going on. And it's happening worldwide. Doesn't matter if it's in Russia, China, Peru. Doesn't matter if it's in Argentina, Burkina Faso, Uganda, Ethiopia, India, Iraq, Iran, Israel, doesn't matter, Australia, New Zealand. COVID-19 is attacking humans. All of us. Well, how is the system then that you have responding to that? And let's be clear about the economics. First, see, that you've been hearing around the world, and it's been done by scientific research, study over and over again, finds out that human activity has caused climate change, a dramatic poisoning and polluting of the whole planet. Humans have done it. Humans' economic model has done it. So that's why, at least here in America, that's why who's really against it, denying climate change? You hear it from Fox News idiots and also from, Republicans, because they're paid for by the corporations who are poisoning and polluting the whole place and don't want to have to change, don't want to have to pay up the bill of their legal expenses when you sue their asses completely into bankruptcy for their poisoning of you. And their poisoning of you not only is the climate change, the ramification of the climate change has been COVID-19. Because over the generations of this poisoning of you, your immune system, your natural immune system has broken down. And other species who are also affected by your poisoning and pollution economic system, their immune system is also breaking down. So that things that were held at bay, who were kept away, had a natural defense for, like COVID-19, have broken down and opened the door to COVID-19, SARS, and all these other viruses and very, dramatic, poisonous entities that are available here on the planet. I mean, COVID-19 wasn't like, folks, it wasn't like a thing that just didn't happen. It just didn't exist, right? That's why they call it COVID-19, because there's a variety of COVIDs that have been known, right? And your immune system has been holding them out in various ways. But now those things are broken down, and here comes COVID-19 in. Through that opening that has been created by the poisoning and polluting of climate change caused by that economic system of toxicity, of corporation, of profit-driven chaos, criminality. See, that's the resistance. The resistance to change. The resistance to facts. The resistance to scientific research. Pointing out what is. Who's resisting here? Who doesn't want to go with science? Well, the economic guys, the corporate criminals poisoning you don't. So they're busy paying people to say on Fox News and other stupid right-wing nut, like that. They're paying them to say, oh, no, there's no climate change. Oh, it's just made up. Oh, geez, just made up. Doesn't happen. Oh, gosh. And it's in a fantasy world, lying to you. So they can keep poisoning you. They don't care about you. Well, it's also the Christian wackos, the extremists, who are out here saying, oh, no, there's no science, no. Because science is also pointing out and popping all their bubbles of all their myths. All sorts of myths of the creation myth. Their storyland of myths that their whole religion was relying on to justify myths that justify repression of women, repression against gays, and even throw in there racism as well. So they're all resisting science, facts, and all that's in the Republican Party. And to be the voice of that repression, of that ignorance, of the denial of facts, you got Fox News. It's not about facts. It was intentionally made to be right-wing propaganda. You should know that. The same way has been Limbaugh, Alex Jones, and now QAnon. These are all fabricated Republican right-wing extremist nutcases, folks, who are just busy finding ways to propagandize their lies so they can keep poisoning and polluting you, so they can keep denying you equal rights, so that they can keep control of their money and their ugliness and their bitterness, angers. It's quite a pretty disgusting thing, really. You look at it in reality, you look at the facts, and oof, boy. And all of that is being aided and clarified by this overwhelming planet, the whole planet, under attack from COVID-19. Well, you got to grasp that whole immensity of this thing in terms of economics. There's one. And across the board, of course, everything else Republican, you got to throw it out. Well, one big one that has to go, of course, not only just the religion stuff, but you got to get rid of that whole economic model of poison and pollution. It's not responding to you. It's not built on you. It's not for you, as it should be. Instead, it's built on this fabrication of destroying you, of abusing you, of just giving you paltry little things so you sweat and die to keep this corporate entities making money. And there you suffer, needlessly, all the way through. Well, there you go. COVID-19 has shown what needs to be done and how big this change is. Instead, we still keep trying to think that you keep hearing it. We're going to return to normal. We're going to get back to just being the same stupid people living under this umbrella of toxicity, that we're going to keep just the racism in place. We're just going to keep these denial of equal rights in place. We're just going to go back to normal. No, you're not. Those days are over, folks. COVID-19 is, this is a change. Once again, who's trying to deny the facts of COVID-19 and the change that it means? A lot of entities who have money in keeping it the same way it is. And a big one that has to change is this whole economic model of poison and pollution that brought in COVID-19. Now, the economic system has to be, like I say, right now. What do you do right now, COVID-19? You go to suspension economics. You have to be flexible, right? When the system is. The whole system of the 21st century post-COVID-19 intelligence is to be an economic system that's slower, more transparent, far more flexible, and that it has more benefit built in to you first. You're first. So here in this situation, everything goes into suspension economics. You don't pay rent because you're out of work. You've been put out of work. COVID did it. Well, the landlord also, he doesn't pay bills either. Whoever your landlord is, Their bills are suspended too. Small businesses, they don't keep paying bills, they're suspended. And everybody that they owed money to as well, they don't pay any bills either, suspended. You have to stop. No credit card payments, no car loan payments, no student loans. Wipe out all student loans anyway. That was just a scam. National health care, you got to have it. All of us get it. We all pay into it, and we all get it. Everything's suspended. And you work with that. Because it's about you. And your kids. And your family. First. And that's the humane intelligence. That's the 21st century intelligence. That is reality and is COVID reality assisted.